everyone. This is Demand Drivers, and I'm actually the guest. And they've put me in the driver's seat. I have the steering wheel with my all plates. I am Dr. Leanne, the guest, and welcome to Demand Drivers. And today we are actually talking about building momentum and sustaining growth with marketing and sales.
Well done. Can I start?
Well done, Leanne.
It's something I'm so sorry I threw her in there. Sorry. Now, I want to ask you, we do this for all of our guests and us. What's your favourite car and why?
Okay, so my favourite car is actually not a particularly brand of car. It's a Formula One car.
Okay.
And the reason why is because the mechanics and the strategy that goes within that vehicle to be able to go fast, to be able to pivot and actually maneuver tricky corners is what sales is.
That was deep.
Up and down, So with a Formula One car,
So are you going to
you can
give
do
us
all
a
of that.
make?
No, she said it.
I mean, at the moment,
You can't just keep... that's very broad. Any F1 out there that
to be honest, at the moment, Mercedes don't have that good a car.
No.
It's not that great, although I do love George Russell. Lewis, he's up and coming. Yep, he's great, up and coming. But the Red Bull car is just phenomenal. But I don't really like Max Verstappen. I know that's controversial. I'm sorry, but yeah,
we love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
that was a good response.
And Ferrari.
Oh, of course. Yeah,
because
of course.
and it's red.
Has to be.
So yeah.
Yes.
No.
I
so
picked Ferrari.
in my to be a little bit serious just for 1 second, sort of. I am with my business and what we do, especially in sales, we're always manoeuvring around lots of things, whether it's people, whether it's technology, partnerships that we talked about in one of our previous episodes. So a Formula One car can do all of that with smoothness.
Yep. And that's an excellent segue. I mean, it's an excellent segue into how to build
momentum.
And look, I'm going to kickstart this.
Yeah,
I think,
thought you might.
I love this. You know what the biggest challenge I find, and jump in here, is I find that a lot of businesses, they lose momentum because they go, I'm done, or they fall off the wagon, and
they become complacent.
100%.
Yeah.
And it's really tricky. But like,
I don't find complacency. I find more it's too intense. There's too much to do. I don't know which ones, and I'm not getting any results. So that's it's probably both.
Interesting.
It's probably both.
But then on top of that, you've got the ones that do it, get results,
which is the one Chris is
get really busy, and then just go.
And
It just drops off. It just drops by the wayside because I'm too busy doing the actual work.
Yeah, and look, I always say, always be marketing. I know it's age-old saying, but it's the truth. Like during the recession, all those businesses during COVID, all those businesses we've got like results to prove that.
But I think we need to keep the passion and the spark in the business, and that's what gives you momentum. And certainly from a sustainability standpoint, also gives you ideas and creativity within your business to grow your own business, which then provides so much more for your clients and your customers. So you've got to really look within your business to get momentum.
Yeah.
And also motivate your team.
Yeah.
Your team's so important.
Yeah. And so why do you think people, and for people listening, why do we think people stop? Like, why is there, when you're trying to sustain momentum, why do people get a little bit along the way, and then they see results or things, and they just go, It's the age-old question.
The results
right?
are there. Yeah, it is the age-old question. Sometimes it's because everybody gets very busy, but I also think there's an element of they lose some creativity around doing it, but with that. It's a long journey to build, from a branding perspective, to build brand awareness and build your brand identity in the market. So actually just sticking with it and being consistent is as important as actually having that brand new creative idea tomorrow. Now,
can I say that again?
Yeah.
I just want to, being consistent. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon.
Absolutely.
And it's sorry.
Well, a Formula One race isn't.
On my head.
A Formula One race isn't one lap, is it? It's like in the So there you go.
Not to cut you off, but I'm just saying that it's like a lot of businesses. They start and they have all these great results, and then they fall off the wagon, or they don't see it fast enough for their liking. And even though the branding agency is saying, "Wait a minute, just hold on a little bit longer. It's coming." coming, they'll go, right. And then all that beautiful work has been damaged. And I feel like, and then the customers are even more confused because they're getting momentum and then it just stops. And so let's bring it back to demand.
Yeah, I think what we need to realise too, and actually, Chris, you and I were talking about it in the car here, is the ebbs and flow. What didn't we talk about? Yeah, I mean, I can't believe I still got a voice. But we talked about the ebbs and flows of marketing and sales. And it does go up, it does go down. One minute you're cheering, the next minute you're crying, but you're a little bit like, despondent. And you've got to ride that, but still keep it going, because you don't know when that next rise is coming. You just don't know. I mean, you talked about not knowing what the unknown is, but the unknown could be phenomenal. Give yourself a chance.
Yeah, so I definitely think. So the key's in the title in there, in building momentum to sustain growth, because you've got to build the momentum, which focuses on make sure you're targeting the right audience and using the right channels, and you can always expand that, but spend time being consistent and having an extended plan as to how you're going to grow your business and how you're going to market. I mean, Mike, you must see it quite a lot around getting spread too thin, or people just
bored. Do they get bored?
Actually, yeah, interesting enough, boredom, and the feeling that you need to change it because you've been hearing the same message over and over, and you as the business owner or the marketing manager or whoever.
I love this episode. No, but that's true, because a lot of them
all the time. We're like, or someone comes in fresh to the business and says, "Oh no, we've got to change it up. I've got to make my mark." Yeah. And there's some brilliant branding.
But when they do come in, they should ring us, obviously.
Yeah, that's right. That change is okay then, right? Yeah. It's you see it so often where they come in there and they make change to some marketing activities and branding that is absolutely brilliant. And it's been working. Brilliant, and it's been working. It doesn't need to change, and too often people kind of think, well, I've been hearing it. We've been doing the same thing for years. We need to change, and sometimes that might be right. More often than not, though, just because you've heard it so many times, you're so close to the business. That's right. That's not your audience. Your audience have barely even heard it. That's right.
Talk about it. It's why we create brand identities. Yeah. It's why we do core messaging documents. I mean, because that's that consistency that rolls out time and time again. But then the creativity from our perspective has always been create the campaign. Yeah. Do a campaign that overlays, and that drives.
That builds on the foundation.
Builds on the foundation, and it just drives extra revenue, and it just can reach a very specific audience, or it could be more broad brush.
And I like what you said, Mike. I mean, I love what you said, where you said, don't let boredom, because you see your brand every single day. So everyone listening and watching, please take that down, is that because you see that consistency. Like I've worked with so many brands, and I'm working with a waterproofer, and he's like, how many times can we talk about waterproofing? And I'm like, every single time. Because you've got architects that stumble across these articles and your website, and you'll get a DIY person, and you'll get someone else that needs a specific type. Like they'll look at basements, and like the client will often go, oh my gosh, like we've talked about every room in the house. I'm like, great, because when that person goes to find your product, you'll have there's a bedroom blog, there's a website on the whole piece, there's all of that stuff.
I think timing and frequency is a little bit it gives us the wrong perception. We think that we're seeing it all the time, and the frequency, it's happening every day or every hour, but that's us. And that's our team. But we've got to remember that our audience and the people out there that we can help aren't. They might see it once, they might see it twice. They're not seeing it all the time.
But what I liked about what Chris was saying is there's nuance in the way that you're expressing the same topic.
Yeah, that's
there's nothing worse than seeing your feed every week and it just says, I don't know, let's pick on Chris. It's like all I see is Melotti Media, Melotti Media, Melotti Media. But with that, it's yes, we do messaging, but then it's a nuance each time, and that's I think that's key. So creating pillar content that's basically nuanced.
That's a really good point that you raised, because it's part of your message, part of your brand that stays the same. That's consistent, but that doesn't mean do everything the same every time. And I think that's a very good clarification.
I like to think also is not everybody has a finite marketing budget. So you can only achieve what you can achieve. So be clear on what your goals are with the marketing budget that you've got, because you can always, as you grow, you can always expand that. So that's, to me, also what building momentum sustainably means.
And being persistent.
Being
persistent.
So you may not go for all your digital media channels. You might just target one and be really good at it.
Yeah, and I created. I mean, again, we were talking about, and
we covered a lot.
because I know we were talking a lot, and with all the work I've done a lot of neuroscience work. So I'm a scientist through and through, and I created the periodic table of sales, and one of the elements is persistence. And what happens a lot of the time is we get a bit complacent or get bored and go, right, that's enough, I'm not doing it anymore. But you've got to be persistent because you just don't know what's around the corner. And that keeps that momentum going. So to summarise this episode, we talked about momentum and sustainable growth with sales and marketing by being, consistent, making sure that even if you are a little bit bored and you're seeing the same message, or you feel that you're putting the same message out over and over again, it's not just you. It's there for your people and for your clients. And so here we are, building momentum for sustainable growth with sales and marketing on demand drivers.
Thanks for joining us.